A discovery is made, important, useful, potentially world-changing. You read about it, you understand what it does, but something feels distant. You understand the result, you can see why it matters, but you don't feel connected to how it came into existence, and that gap is new. You weren't there. No one you know was there, no moment of insight, no question that led to it. In systems like DeepMind's AlphaFold, structures were predicted that scientists had spent decades trying to understand. Breakthroughs appearing, no turning point. No point where someone realized something others hadn't. Just an output that exists, not discovered. Some discoveries now happen without human curiosity, effort, or experience, and that changes what they mean to us. That's the shift. Not when discovery became faster, when it stopped feeling like something that belongs to us. Discovery used to carry weight, not just because of what was found, but because of how it was found. A question, a struggle, a path that didn't exist before someone chose to follow it. That process mattered. It gave discovery a story, a beginning, a middle, an end, something you could follow, something you could understand as it unfolded, because it connected people to the result. You didn't just learn something new, you understood how it came to be. When discovery is driven by human effort, meaning comes from the process as much as the result. You still recognize this. You solve something, figure something out, reach an answer step by step. That moment where the result feels earned, where it belongs to you, that's what made discovery meaningful. It wasn't just the answer, it was the path, the uncertainty, the time spent not knowing. That's where meaning used to build. Now that connection is weakening, systems don't need curiosity, they don't need effort, they don't need to care what they're looking for. They process data, across data sets too large to fully grasp, across relationships too complex to track, moving through possibilities no human could reasonably explore alone, at scale. In systems like AlphaFold and AI-driven research platforms such as Insilico Medicine, discoveries emerge from pattern detection, not from questions being asked. The system doesn't wonder, it calculates. It doesn't search with intent. It surfaces what aligns, and the result appears, not as a discovery someone worked toward, but as something that emerges, as if it was always there, waiting to be surfaced, complete, ready to use. ASL, when discovery no longer requires human effort or curiosity, meaning begins to detach from the process. You've already felt a version of this. You find something, but you didn't really look for it. It appeared, suggested, presented to you. That moment feels useful, but it doesn't feel the same, because you weren't part of how it was found. The real shift isn't what's discovered, it's how it feels. When discovery happens without you, you relate to it differently. It becomes something you observe, not something you participate in. You don't follow the reasoning. You don't see the process unfold. You arrive at the outcome, without experiencing how it came to be. In modern research, entire structures, relationships, and solutions can be generated before a human fully understands why they work. The discovery exists. It can be used, applied, built on. But the moment of understanding that usually connects people to it is missing, and with it, the experience of discovering it. You felt this? You learn something new, but it doesn't feel like insight. It feels like information. Something given to you, not something you reached. When discovery is experienced without participation, meaning shifts from ownership to observation. And once that happens, something subtle changes. You're no longer part of discovery, you're downstream from it. Nothing stops. In fact, more is discovered than ever before. faster, deeper, across more domains, but something feels different. Not worse, not broken, just less connected, as if something important has been removed, without anything visibly disappearing. Discovery continues, but it no longer feels human, because meaning used to come from involvement, from effort, from the path between question and answer. Now, that path is often missing. When discovery no longer requires human involvement, meaning begins to separate from knowledge itself. You may already feel this. You learn something important, but it doesn't stay with you in the same way, because you weren't part of it, and over time, that changes how discovery feels. Not exciting, not personal, just constant and distant, always arriving, always updating, always expanding, but without the pauses that once made discovery feel significant. And once discovery becomes something that happens without us, the question changes. Not what can we discover, but what does discovery mean now? And once that question appears, it doesn't disappear easily. If discovery no longer belongs to us, what exactly are we left with? If this made you reflect on how discovery is changing, hit the like button. It helps more people see what's happening beneath the surface. Subscribe to become part of The Unlocked, where we explore what still belongs to humanity as systems become more capable. And if someone you know still believes discovery is always something we experience, share this with them. Because the deepest shift isn't what we're discovering. It's what that discovery means to us. Because the future isn't coming, it's already here.